All right. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on this great episode of your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. First of all, let me say big congratulations to journalist Rufai Oseni, who just won yet another award. That is the letter of award. Actually, he's been invited to receive the award on the 16th of July. Of course, you know Rufai is one Nigerian who has not allowed ethnicity or the quest for material things to blind him. Kudos to the likes of Rufai, Dele Farotimi, and so on and so forth. Now, onto the business of the day. In less than 24 hours, this administration will be 1 year in office. And it has been a horrible experience for most Nigerians. Life was hard enough under Buhari, and many never imagined they would be missing Buhari when he leaves. But from the look of things, this is just the beginning. Last year, UNESCO said Nigeria had 18 million out of school people. Who would expect that in 2024, the government would remove subsidy on education? But it did, and now we have more people out of school. Amidst darkness, the government removed subsidy on electricity, thereby increasing electricity tariffs. The announcement of new taxes have seen Nigerians weep. But they are not done. Just hours ago, the government in a statement made it clear that new taxes are on the way. More taxes are coming. Before I show you how they said it and how Nigerians reacted, let me quickly show you this update that proves that if Nigerians are ready, we can still make this country work. Sometime in April, Governor of Abia State, Alex OTTI, abolished the payment of pensions to ex-governors in the state. This move was applauded by citizens across Nigeria because most of these ex-governors continue to take a huge chunk of state allocations, even after leaving office, and paying them is even taken more seriously than handling state projects and paying the existing civil servants. OTTI abolished this law in Abia State. Now, look at what is happening in BENUE State. BENUE State Assembly scraps life pension law for ex-governors, deputies, following the footsteps of Governor of Abia State, Dr. Alex OTTI, who oversaw the scrapping of life pension for ex-governors in Abia State recently. You saw that. Good leadership, amongst so many other things, is also infectious. I remember the day The Punch and Arise TV reported this move of scrapping the life pensions by OTTI. Many Nigerians began asking their own governors to do the same. It was all over social media, people urging their governors, to scrap life pensions for ex-governors. Now, Benue State Governor Alia has emulated OTTI. Somebody should tell Sanwo-Olu of Lagos to do the same. He can never do it because TINUBU is a beneficiary. And you begin to wonder, what do these men want to do with all this money? How can you have money that you cannot even trace and you are still collecting pensions from your state? States doing practically everything for them after they have left office. And those things are even the biggest priorities of the state. You cannot be doing state projects unless you have paid them pensions. You can't pay existing civil servants unless you have paid ex-governors. And my question to the APC supporters who are probably watching this video is, how do you support people who treat you this way in the name of tribe or religion? The same religion preaches fairness, and your tribe definitely does not support foolishness. So what's up with you? It is time for Nigerians to use, to harness the strength in our number and begin to demand that these politicians do the right thing. Point blank, period. Now, let us look at that statement by a member of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy. This man, Mr. Adefeko, was literally telling Nigerians that they had not even implemented their plans to tax us. So, they have not implemented their plans and the masses are already in a chokehold. What will then happen when they do? Look at how the papers reported it. Nigerian government considers implementation of new tax, spending, borrowing policies. The Bola Tinubu administration is considering a plan to implement new national tax, spending and borrowing policies for the country. This was disclosed in a statement shared by a member of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms Committee, Ade Adefeko, on his LinkedIn page on Monday. A new plan to revolutionize Nigeria's tax system is to introduce a new national tax policy, spending policy, and borrowing policy to make us more efficient and effective in tax administration, he revealed. According to Mr. Adefeko, the policy, when implemented, will help the government become more efficient and effective in tax administration. Outlining the committee's work, which was in 3 phases: quick wins, recommendations, critical reforms, and implementation, Mr. Adefeko said, "I am happy to announce that under the able leadership of our chairman, Taiwo Oyedele, we concluded the last 2 phases in the last few weeks, and we hope to transition to the implementation phase after our recommendations are accepted." He said the committee, which was inaugurated by the president on August 8, 2023, had terms of reference covering 3 broad areas: fiscal governance, revenue transformation, and lastly, fiscal competitiveness and economic growth facilitation. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Diamond says, "This man just wants to finish what is left of Nigerians. 2027, APC must never near power again." And Couscous replied, he said, "For the first time, I agree with this statement." I'm sure Couscous is one of the APC supporters who are now disappointed. And Adewale Damilare here says, "Bring it on, TINUBU baby. Tax anything taxable. We go learn by force." That is it. If Nigerians will not learn easily, then maybe suffering, hardship will cause us to learn. And that is why I keep saying, let the hardship multiply. And this tweet by Kayode Abraham says, "Reason why the government is rolling out quite a number of nano, micro, and SME loans to deceive innocent Nigerians so as to go ahead on a borrowing spree. Continue borrowing to share around whilst deceiving the public with bogus lending that will not see the light of the day." That is it. And Akin Molaolu here says, "Nothing is permanent, including Tinubu's policies. My own government, managed by very reasonable people, will review all policies and contracts. They shall come to pass." Amen. And K. Wiwa here says, "Only objective of BAT is tax, borrow, spend. Productivity and increasing production is not in the equation. Renewed Shege for sure." And it baffles me that a person can be in charge of this country now and is not thinking about production. This is a country that once flourished because of our production prowess. And this man is just talking about taxation, taxation. And to think that there are still a few who believe in him is more shocking. And Color Cloud here says, "Southwest, we have 2027 to kick this Olori Buruku away, please. Don't let this calamity happen again in Southwest." Honestly, looking at the history of the Southwest, this has to be arguably the worst they have produced as a leader. You look at the likes of Obafemi Awolowo, you look at Olusegun Obasanjo, and you can just tell that this one is totally off. And Color Cloud here is calling on Yorubas to kick him out. This is not to say that he wasn't rejected by many Yorubas even in 2023, but Color is saying here that it has to be overwhelming. It has to be unanimous this time around, because I keep telling you that it is those few people that support them that give them the effrontery, the impetus to be able to rig elections. If over 90% of the people are saying no to a candidate, no matter how strong the organization he's from is, or the political party that presented him is, they will not be able to rig the elections. Because is it not still the people that they use? You can collect their money and refuse to do their bidding. I just hope that the people of the Southwest will listen to people like Kola. I mean the stubborn, or should I say the foolish ones. These people have already shown to us that they cannot give us the kind of country that we want. There is no point sticking with them. And in other news, Senate begins public hearing on change of national anthem, seeks wide consultation, reporters. The Nigerian Senate on Monday started a public hearing on an act to provide for the national anthem of Nigeria and related matters. The move was set to replace the anthem with the former one, Nigeria We Hail Thee, which was adopted as the country's first national anthem on October 1st, 1960, but was dropped in 1978 by the Olusegun Obasanjo military regime. You heard that? This motion started from the House of Reps. This motion of change of national anthem. And a lot of Nigerians criticized it. They say, is that the next thing? Why are these people so jobless? Now it has moved to the Senate. And look at how Nigerians reacted. Look at some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Olamilekan says, why is this even a point of discussion at this critical time? What economic benefits will this add to a country that over 80% of the citizens are struggling to make ends meet? I wonder, my brother. And Ajani Oluwole here says, the amount to change the national anthem and the publicity will run into billions. Joblessness, sad and heartbreaking. I'm telling you, if you hear the amount that is going to be budgeted to do this thing, you will marvel. That is why they are so keen. Even the old one, they cannot recite it. They can't recite it. So what is all this hula baloo about? And this tweet by engineer Anwobi Owo says, these people are not serious. You are not deliberating on the hardship in town, but you can deliberate on national anthem. What a docile people. Olori Buruku Dede. That is it. But I'm not surprised. This is the APC. This is what they stand for. Uselessness. The APC-led National Assembly is a disgrace. These guys have never sat down to talk seriously about insecurity, about poverty that is rampaging the country. But every time they gather, they come up with one silly act, one silly bill or the other. And this is how it will continue until Nigerians come together and say, no, we can no longer take this. Until Nigerians cast aside their sentiments and begin to vote and defend the votes that they have given to leaders whose hearts beat for the country. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news where una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't go away.